It is nice to see you all of you here. Today, we will see what is absent-mindedness. In psychological perspective, we need to know the basics of absent-mindedness. Absent-mindedness is a mental condition in which the subject experiences low levels of attention and frequent distraction. His attention level will be low and he will be distracted frequently. Absent-mindedness is not a diagnosed condition but rather a state people experience in their daily lives from a variety of different causes including boredom, sleepiness or focus on internal thoughts instead of external surroundings. When suffering from absent-mindedness, people tend to show signs of memory lapse and weak recollection of recently occurring events. This can usually be a result of variety of other conditions, often diagnosed by clinicians such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or depression. In addition to absent-mindedness leading to an array of consequences affecting daily life, it can have more severe long-term problems. That is the reason why we are taking this particular topic in for a lecture. Why? Because it is important in the perspective of psychology. So what is absent-mindedness? Absent-mindedness is where a person shows inattentive or forgetful behavior. It can have three different causes. Number one is low level of attention, blanking or zoning out from the present atmosphere. Second, intense attention to a single object of focus. That is also called hyperfocus. You must have met people with hyperfocus. When they are working on a particular task, they won't be able to focus on anything other than what they are doing. They won't be even understanding what you are saying. They won't even listen to you. That makes a person oblivious to events around him. Third one is warranted distraction of attention from the object of focus by irrelevant thoughts or environmental events. We sometimes call it daydreaming. This also can happen because they are dreaming too much, because they are thinking too much. The environmental events may not affect them. So these are the three levels of absent-mindedness. The concept of absent-mindedness seemingly consists of lapses of concentration or zoning out. This can result in lapses of short or long-term memory depending on when a person is questioned was in state of absent-mindedness. Absent-mindedness also relates directly to lapses in attention. The scientists from Harvard Psychology Department say that in context of memory, absent-mindedness entails inattentive or shallow processing that contributes to weak memories or ongoing events or forgetting to do things in the future. The causes of absent-mindedness are, the absent-mindedness is a frequent occurrence, of course it is. There has been a little progress made on what the direct causes of absent-mindedness are. However, it tends to co-occur with ill health, preoccupation and distraction. Three potential causes are, which we have seen earlier, low level of attention, that is blanking or zoning out, to intense attention to a single object of focus that makes a person oblivious to events around them, and unwarranted distraction of attention from the object of focus by irrelevant thoughts or environmental events. Absent-mindedness is also noticed as a common characteristic of personalities with schizoid personality disorder. The consequences of absent-minded behavior are lapses of attention are clearly part of everyone's life. Some are merely inconvenient, such as missing a familiar turnoff on the highway, while some are extremely serious, such as failures of attention that causes accidents, injury or loss of life. You must have seen when you write, automatically you see that you are unable to focus, or you are actually not focusing on the driving at all. The driving is happening and your mind is somewhere else. This kind of attention problem, as long as you don't meet with any accidents or something like that, it is not dangerous. But otherwise, it can cause accident, injury or loss of life. Sometimes lapses of attention can even lead huge impact on personal behavior, which directs to the goals. Beyond the obvious cost of accident arising from the lapses of attention, there are lost time, efficiency, personal productivity and quality of life. This can also occur in the lapse of recapture of awareness and attention to everyday tasks. Individuals for whom intervals between lapses are very short are typically viewed as impaired. Given the prevalence of attentional failures in everyday life and the ubiquitous and sometimes disastrous consequences of such failures, it is rather surprising that relatively little work has been done to directly measure the individual differences in everyday efforts arising from propensities for failures in attention. Absent-mindedness can also lead to bad grades at school, boredom, and depression. The measurement and treatment of absent-mindedness can be avoided or fixed in several ways. Although it can't be accomplished through medical procedures, it can be accomplished through psychological treatments. Examples include altering work schedules to make them shorter, having frequent rest periods, and utilizing a drowsy operator warning device. So this kind of absent-mindedness can be treated in clinician setting. In the case of psychology, therapists can do that with the help of some of the alternatives. Absent-mindedness and its related topics are often measured in scales developed in studies to survey boredom and attention levels. For instance, the attention-related cognitive errors scale reflects errors in performance that result from attention lapses. Another scale, called Mindful Attention Awareness Scale, measures the ability to maintain a reasonable level of attention in everyday life. The Boredom Proneness Scale measures the level of boredom in relation to the attention level of the subject. Mistakes and related phenomena. Absent-mindedness can lead to automatic behavior or automatisms. Additionally, absent-minded actions can involve behavioral mistakes. A phenomenon called attention lapse-induced alienation occurs when a person makes a mistake while absent-minded. The person then attributes the mistake to their hand rather than their self because they were not paying attention. This kind of phenomenon is called attention lapse-induced alienation. Another related topic to absent-mindedness is daydreaming. It may be beneficial to differentiate between these two topics, that is between absent-minded, that is attention lapse-induced alienation, and daydreaming. It may be beneficial to differentiate between these two. Daydreaming can be viewed as coping or defense mechanism as opposed to inattentiveness. Daydreaming is a way for emotions to be explored and even expressed through fantasy. It may even bring in attention to previously experienced problems or circumstances. It is also a way to bring about creativity. In case if we see absent-mindedness as an abnormal behavior, especially in psychology and psychiatry, that could be related to the following: depression, ADHD, that is attention deficit hyperactive disorder, schizoid personality disorder, and autism. Absent-mindedness can also affect a person in the following areas: school and educational areas, work atmosphere, relationship. Thank you very much.